They said all of these things, that I'm gonna be used and abused and all of these things. First of all, I'm armed, so nobody's fucking abusing anything on me.
They know that we have the power to make them stop.
So 700,000 people in a country of 330 million is enough to plunge us into some sort of collective psychosis? This is not a system that's working.
We have tens of millions of people out there who may indeed disagree among themselves, but one thing they do agree on is live and let live.
And we win by going out unapologetically and forcefully into the world.
You will actually have better Democrats and better Republicans if a libertarian's in the room.
The point here is to spread liberty into rooms that it currently isn't in.
Lack of community, lack of purpose, and loneliness. That's what's killing our kids.
We watch on TV and we see how panicked the establishment is.
The tyrant's job is to oppress you, and your job is to prescribe the limits to their oppression. Simple and plain.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. This crusade, this war on terrorism, is going to take a while.
We came, we saw, we died.
We tortured some folks.
Yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty.
And the pod is parked. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's episode 45 of Dave versus Goliath. I appreciate you being here. It's been a couple weeks. I've missed you terribly. If you're listening in the future, thank you. And please leave a nice review for your boy on iTunes and Spotify and that stuff. Helps out an awful lot. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm sure you just enjoyed that nice intro. And if you're watching this on Odyssey, that means you can watch all of the videos, including the banned ones. Only one right now, but I'm sure we'll get to more. Maybe let's try not to tonight. But and if you're watching live right now, you are living in the present. You're the greatest gift of all. Thank you. But seriously, that intro video, the great Dan Smots did it again for the Mighty Mises Caucus Take Human Action Tour. That is going to be the shit. That's a 6-city tour that they're starting off in New York. I think April 1st. That's going to have Maj Touré, Dave Smith, Tom Woods, and some other great people hanging out there. I would make it out there if I were you. But check it out. There's probably coming to a city near you, including a city near our guest tonight. And we will get more to that in a minute. But before we do, I've missed my dude. You know him. My main man. Dan. What is up, dude?
Long time no see.
Yo, good to see you, man.
I get hyped for myself when you put that intro music on there.
I hope you got a couple goosebumps out of that, bro. You're fucking worth it.
Don't
forget it. It's been a couple weeks, man. You been good?
Yeah.
Got to see the kiddos?
Yeah. I'm glad to be here tonight with you. I miss them. But yeah, it was good to have them up here. It was great.
No doubt, man. Good to be with you. Tonight, man, we got a good guest. She's doing an awful lot. Multi-talented. She's a podcaster, so we got some common ground there. Mises Caucus organizer, LP Colorado member.
Check.
Twitter account enjoyer. Sparkler enthusiast. And perhaps a future city council person? Woman?
Dare you say?
City. We'll find out what she prefers to be referred to as. But, ladies and gentlemen, the great Forest Mommy. What is up? Everybody gets intro music. Everybody gets intro music. Good to see you. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks so much for having me on.
No doubt. Absolutely. Thanks for being here. It's awesome. Mises Caucus, check. LP, check. You're running for office. You're taking the strategy that kind of they're trying to push through this Take Human Action tour. You're like doing the damn thing. So
I thought, have to.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's awesome. We're gonna get into it. But I thought before we talked about all that stuff, maybe we could just get to know each other a little bit. I kind of, you came onto my radar when I started the podcast, jumped on Twitter, kind of found like Liberty Twitter. There you were, and kind of building your own brand out, and then obviously we bonded over being banned from Twitter through other channels and things like that. But how did you kind of come into the Liberty space, and what was your journey getting there?
Honestly, basically, once COVID started, I got onto Twitter, and I wasn't involved with anything before. I'll be honest. I was always anti-government, always on my own, independent-minded and stuff. But once all that COVID stuff happened, I got off of Facebook. I kind of knew some libertarians through Facebook, and I think that kind of got me kind of hooked in on Twitter. And then just Twitter, I just worked my ass off at my Twitter and built it big, and it got bigger and bigger. And then I started a podcast. So I did it like opposite. I got big on Twitter, and then I started podcasts. And then I don't know. And then the podcast thing's just been growing because I have a producer now, and we've just been growing it, and it's just been fun to do and just fucking talk about freedom and stuff,
Yeah, man, it is fun. That's simple enough. So COVID, that's a common tale for people kind of coming into the space. Was like the Libertarian Party wasn't part of the beginning of that. I imagine just kind of libertarianism, or like what kind of kept you out of either of the.
I just knew what was wrong, what was going on, and I knew the government was, and everything I was reading, even with all the censorship, everything I was reading, nothing was making sense, and then I got hooked up with libertarians through that. But I was just screaming into the void. When I got my account back recently, I went back to the very, very beginning, and I had no likes on any posts, and I was just this is wrong, and that's all I did. Made that little video, and then it kind of went from there. But yeah, it was just me knowing that this was fucked up, what was going on. So
yeah, it sure is. I mean, that's kind of what made us want to start the podcast here. So Dan, what's up?
That's exactly what it was. No, I just think it's funny. That's how we started this too, because we were like, dude, we got to be able to talk to each other.
Yeah,
I mean, as simple as that.
And the more I would say, I would get messages like, "Thank you for speaking out about it" and stuff. Because there was people who really felt they couldn't talk up about it, and because they're going to lose their job or whatever, or lose their friends. And I was like, I already lost all my friends, so we're just going to go head first into this now. So
I can kind of your approach on Twitter is pretty fuck it, kind of both middle fingers up. I kind of I was okay, I'm drawn to that. There's. Please don't take any offense to this. I don't think that you will, but there are some pretty girls on Twitter in the libertarian sphere, specifically, that will just throw out an "end the Fed" every once in a while, kind of exploit maybe their we were talking about before the show, the yoga pants. That's a hyper example of that. The yoga pants libertarian, right? She doesn't know shit about fuck, but she's out here, calls herself the libertarian this, and kind of, she gets she has lots of likes and lots of follows, and Eliza Blue was another one. I don't know. We don't need to get into that maybe tonight, but I've seen you talk about it with Chrissy Mayer and some other people. But that girl came right in, kind of just got high numbers really quick, was I attached myself to the party or to the movement, and then, was kind of exposed as a fraud. Right? I didn't follow that terribly closely.
Yeah, basically a fraud, and somehow still not still chilling and still doing it. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand it at all.
So I'm taking a long way around to say I saw early, and I think that you're not that. I just want to be clear. I think that's.
Do you think I'm pretty though?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, come on. But I mean,
that was a long way of saying that.
Yeah, no, but I mean that it's really cool that you actually do the work. Aside, forget running for city council, but you actually go hard on the people that need to be fucking, smashed. The COVID regime. That's really the most important thing. I saw your post, the other day about going hard on, don't let these people forget. Like I love that slogan, like lockdowners must atone or lockdowners must suffer. I've seen like fuck yeah, man. Like I don't know. I'm not over it. I'm not even over 9/11. You think I'm over this shit? Like you got the wrong guy.
All the other things I found out, like being more involved, all this stuff I didn't know. And it's like you just get more and more mad. And like then the the COVID stuff, I will never that keeps a fire burning in me every day.
Yeah, that nothing happened to them. Was it it might have been Spike Cohen because he makes all the awesome posts, but he says something like the best way to was it him? The best way to prevent the next pandemic is to lock up the people that started the first one. I was like, yeah.
Yo, Spike's been crushing it lately. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Good man. So yeah, tell me about the podcast a little bit. You've got the Forest Mommy universe. I love it. So you're building out the brand. Is that going to like?
Yeah, we're going to be a whole channel. My like vision is a whole channel. But there's me, and then I got hooked through like Chrissy Mayer had me on one time, which has been great. I met a bunch of people through that, and brought a bunch of people to like the Liberty side through that too, that were kind of not quite there. So I met my producer Paul of Sibling Revelry. He's Sib Rev on Twitter, and he kind of was like, because I've still never looked at my analytics. I don't give a fuck about that.
I haven't either. I don't care.
Yeah, like I don't tag anything.
Yep.
I don't do that. So he kind of came in and was like, do you want help? Like you could actually maybe, because I never wanted to make money or anything. And this is a year after I was doing it. And then I did finally I got monetized and stuff. So he came in and was like, he helped me do like actual intros and things like that. So we have a couple shows now. I have my Sunday show is it's called Golden Shower Sunday Stream. I know everyone is like, what? But it's just wordplay. I'm just trying to like make it so in the future people will think of me when they hear the word golden showers and not pee.
We're taking it back.
Yeah, I'm taking it back. And then another regular show I have is Susan Me Timbers with my friend Alice. I think she's in the chat. And then she just started another show, which I say they are separate from. They're in the FMU, but they're separate too. And they just started a show called Put a Fork in It. And then my producer has a show on Saturdays, Sibling Revelry. So we just kind of like and we have other days we'll hop on and do whatever. And it's just been nice. It's just the whole thing was I started it to talk to people too. Like I just wanted to talk to people. Like that's all I wanted to do because I know we weren't alone. When they closed everything down, the whole point was to get everybody online so they could watch us more. Right. But like, I don't even care. So, and we're still here. I'm not banned off of YouTube yet. I've had a couple, I think I have one full strike still. So,
and so you had a couple, you managed to like evade suspension and you started a couple accounts on Twitter and you have a couple of them now.
They all came back.
Okay. So be honest. They're all over like 10,000, which is fantastic. So you got like a 20,000 account. So if you were just a libertarian dude with a weird neck beard, what would your account be really? From 20,000, take it down. Would it be like half?
Be like 300 probably or something.
I knew it, dude. We gotta really. I gotta step it up, dog. I got serious rookie numbers, bro.
You're back though.
I don't know how it happens, but I also I have a lot of GOP people following me, which I'm like, I don't know how.
Listen. I'm not giving you shit. I'm really kind of just teasing. But listen, it means a lot that when you get the power, right, which you have, that you use it responsibly. And I think that you really are. It's pretty cool. So you just filled out the paperwork for your city council run.
Yes, this will be my first official podcast announcement of it. But I'm in Arvada, Colorado, and I'm running for District 4 City Council. And my name is Jessica Fensky, but Forest Mommy's way cooler than that. So,
Councilwoman Forest.
But it should be fine. There's no one else signed up yet. So we'll see.
Man, if you could just walk in there, that would be great, wouldn't it?
It'd be pretty cool. I still want to campaign and like do all that stuff though, but
let's see. Dan Smots has something to say. Hey y'all, didn't this chick pay $100,000 for a Mises Caucus photo shoot? What's that about?
That was so weird. People are so weird on Twitter sometimes. I don't understand it.
Well, Dan Smots is weird everywhere. Definitely on Twitter. In the comments.
Well, he was like a youth group kid, right? Because I was a youth group
Yes, he was.
Kid too. Like,
motherfucker's never seen the Terminator. Can you believe it? Shout out to Dan Smots. CD McRae says, I heard she only uses Goulash Media, so I only use Goulash Media. All right, shout out one more time. CD, I got in our neat tweets segment tonight. It's going to be fun. I got a CD McRae tweet, which was really
she's
good.
She's coming on my show Sunday, by the way.
That's exciting. See, and she's shout out to CD. She's everywhere. She's on the Systems Down. She's on your show. She's up in these comments, and she's running for vice chair, I believe, of Libertarian Party of Florida. Nice. So she should get that, unless you could name somebody better. I doubt it though. No. CD, go get him. Let's see here. All right, but speaking of, let's see, the lockdowns and all this bullshit. We did just hit, bro, while we were gone, the 3-year anniversary of 2 weeks to flatten the curve. And today on Twitter, this was floating around.
If you were to get infected, you could pass it on to them. So you're actually protecting your family by getting it vaccinated.
Well, I heard that it doesn't cure it, and it doesn't stop you from getting it.
No.
So
on the very, very, very rare chance.
Very, very rare. Very rare. By the way, anytime you guys want to just say something, just speak up. I can pause it or whatever. But and I'm not sure exactly when this came out, but damn, bro was off. I'm going to try not to go against WHO standards, or at least I will passive aggressively. But
that's how I got my strikes, by the way.
Me too. When I had a medical doctor on, right? Can you imagine this guy though?
Chance that you do get it, even if you're vaccinated. It's you don't even feel sick. It's like you don't even know you got infected. It's
no big whoop.
What a demon.
Can you imagine? This little girl on the porch too. She's like hiding behind mom.
Very, very good at protecting you.
Just the Anacostia, so get up there. Okay.
All right, see you later.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Later. Thank you. Jesus. Oh, on to the next one. Oh, fucking
that was people. What do you mean that was floating around today?
This was dude. Everybody was passing this around on Twitter. So
yeah, this documentary about him must have came out, and it definitely tries to make him look good because I saw other clips too.
PBS is the little logo in the corner. I can't believe public broadcasting put this out, but this is the main chunk of it. This guy is not having it.
Are not settled with the information that's been given to us right now. So I'm not going to be lining up taking a shot or a vaccination for something that wasn't clear in the first place. And then you all create a shot.
By the way,
yeah, he's in the wrong neighborhood.
It still is. We haven't had the chance, Dan, to celebrate, but it is actually International Women's Month. It's not just a day or a week, it's the whole month, so we can get it in. Yeah. So keep your eye on this green shirt lady in the corner doing this guy's bidding. It's just disgraceful.
And miraculous time. It takes years to create vaccination.
Well, it used to take years.
Okay, it used to.
You know how many years were invested in this approach? About 20 years of science to get us to be able to do it.
20 years is not enough. And 9 months is definitely not enough for nobody to be taking no vaccination that you all came up with.
The only reason I'm talking to you right now.
Oh, did you see it? Did you see that? The only reason I'm even getting 6 feet from your unvaccinated ass.
As close as we are, is that I've been vaccinated.
Right.
But if it allows thousands of people like you don't get vaccinated, you're going to let this virus continue to percolate in this country.
Holy shit.
Yo, follow the science, bro. You don't want this thing to percolate. You dumb bastard. I can't believe it.
And in this
something like the common flu then, right?
And it's
much more serious than the flu.
Well, the flu kills a lot of people annually too.
You know how many people died of the flu the last year? I mean, not this year, virtually none. But
okay, wait a second.
Me neither.
Forget this year. Forget this year. Not the flu this year, because there was none. But last year and all future years and all years in the past. I don't know if I can say that. This guy, he's doing like missionary work. Have you heard of my Lord and Savior, Beelzebub? Oh, here we go.
So
the previous year, about 20 to 30,000. You know how many people have died from COVID-19 in the United States? 600,000 Americans.
Well, the number that you all giving that died, that's once again, that's you all's number.
You gonna pass?
My man.
Yeah, definitely. Because when you start talking about paying people to get vaccinated, when you start talking about incentivizing things to get people vaccinated, it's something else going on with that. Something else going on.
It is something going on.
With something else.
You're right. But I'm glad millions of people like me and most everybody here.
This bitch.
Is she awful? You. Thanks, Aunt Tom. I'm sorry, but I'm not. She's doing a disservice to her. She's in a black neighborhood.
I know.
Knocking up on the doorsteps of black people, making sure that they take this shot. It's fucking.
It's betrayal.
Just like the worst thing I've ever seen.
You know, I made a comment today. So my friend Eric Abinante and Lila Hart, they made a documentary about the world. It's called the World Death Organization. It's on YouTube. Somehow it's still up. But it's all history of just the World Health Organization and how awful it is going from Planned Parenthood and Sanger on, you know, and like all the failures of vaccines. But like Sanger wrote down, like, we need to get Negro doctors on board so that they trust trust them more and stuff. And then before the Tuskegee experiments, they did the same thing. They're like, we need Negro doctor. And I'm sure this motherfucker, like, totally, like, what, before they went out and did this shit, he was like, we need to make sure we have the right black people to come along and do this with us because they'll trust them. Like, it's the same thing. It is the same thing. Like, and does anyone know, did they ever go do this door-to-door crap anywhere but the inner cities? Like, they never can. I don't think they went to any suburbs where like white people are. You know what I mean? So
didn't come to my neighborhood.
I wanted them to. I was like, when I heard they started doing this, I'm like, oh, just come to my door. Like, I'm so ready for it, but they didn't. Shocker.
Yeah, just in the hood. Here we go.
Ugh.
Didn't get an incentive. You know what their incentive was? Protecting their health and protecting the city. But I won't keep doing anymore.
Oh, you know, if you're not interested in protecting your health and protecting your city, it's no big deal. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get out of here. Me and Dr.
It's like emotional manipulation. And there was even people in the Liberty side who were pro-vaccine doing that kind of crap, that emotional manipulation. And I like just seeing that, like, it makes my blood pressure go up, seeing someone say that. It's so gross.
I'm with you for sure.
Okay, because my attempt, y'all campaign is about fear. It's about inciting fear in people. You all attack people with fear. That's what this pandemic is.
I'll tell you what, I think they really they underestimated people, dude. They really did. I think that they thought they could just, promise Krispy Kremes, go into the hood, say it's for free. And like, people will just be like lining up for this thing. Like, no, like you said, people remember Tuskegee. We remember the move bombings. Like, people don't trust the government. It's like at an all-time level. Like, well, I don't know. I just can't understand. Why would you think that people?
They probably thought they could control the black community like they do with voting or something. Like, they probably were going at it from that angle, like they do. I don't know.
Right.
Ugh. Like CD said in the chat, they need to find that man and protect him.
Yeah, they really do. Let's see. You know what? We're going to do it. Since you brought her up, we're going to go into, before we play any more clips, we're going to do neat tweets.
Here are some tweets.
So you mentioned CD McRae. I got a great tweet from CD. I don't know if I can even say that. Maybe this will get me kicked off YouTube, but I'm going to say it anyway because we got Forrest Mommy here tonight, and we're going to talk about the war on women. We've already talked about the war on children. Obviously, there's a war on masculinity. Dan and I are feeling it. That's why they call me an angry white male. I don't give a fuck, but the war on men is real too. But the transhumanist war is on all the human experience. You know what I mean? For everybody. But this is from CD McRae, who will be appearing on your show later this week, I believe. On the plantation of feminism run by Massa Woke, Dylan Mulvaney is the house nigga while the progressive white women plow the fields. They want to vote to bring in more slaves, not for the sake of emancipation. Holy damn.
Perfect tweet. Perfect.
He is based. If she already had my vote for LPF, Florida Vice Chair, but that shit, that just it hits different. Way to go, CD. This tweet is from Angela McArdle, the chair of the Libertarian Party. LOL. People are mad that I respond when the press reaches out and asks if we support Joe Exotic. Did you guys hear about this?
Yeah.
So Joe Exotic is running for president from prison. He's got the paperwork filed. Speaking of filing the paperwork, sometimes that's all you have to do. And he's running as a libertarian. So good for him. So TMZ reached out to Angela for comment and was like, so are you supporting. I should have grabbed her exact quote. I don't have it in front of me, but it was basically like, no, like I'm not supporting that. We're no longer a place for, you know, like third-rate entertainers and like people to just come and muck the shit up. And people are, you know, outraged at her because she didn't just blindly support or have no opinion and just be neutral or something. But I thought that was just so awesome that we don't have to be
You'll
the
get
party.
shit no matter what she says, no matter what she does, though. So yeah,
It's because she's a woman, damn it. You know. Check this out from Geraldo Rivera. This is great.
Oh, I saw this.
This is awesome. Chris Christie could be the strongest GOP alternative for POTUS. Savvy, swagger, moderation, toughness. Yo, that's a real tweet.
I responded like, "Are you getting into stand-up comedy or what's going on?"
Oh my god, that's fucking amazing. What kind of fucking John Travolta size vault do they have on that guy to make him, you know, say these kinds of things? What kind of, you know, Epstein files they got? Anyway, here's one from Joe Walsh. It was a once in a lifetime pandemic. Of course, mistakes were going to be made. Of course. But to believe the scientists and healthcare officials all purposefully tried to fuck with our lives is crazy. They did their best to help us through something none of us had ever lived through before. To which the Mises Caucus responded, "Thank you for the reminder of how grateful we are that you gave up trying to grift off LP National." Awesome.
Ooh,
I love it. That guy was, you know, one of these fucking washed up GOP never Trumper guys who was kind of flirting with getting into the LP, and we were strong enough even at that point to kind of keep him out. I thought that was great. But we got some Forest Mommy tweets. We're going to read those.
Okay.
You ready? We are kicking ugly people out of local government, and there isn't anything they can do to stop us. JK, they can literally use the government to stop us, but I'm gonna try. Yo, we're getting no more uglies in 2024. You got to at least be a 6, a solid 6, or you're fucking out. Listen, that's obviously funny. Wait, we have one more tweet, I think. Yeah, here's one more tweet from Forest Mommy. Reminder that 99% of people in county health departments are ugly and unhealthy and we're making rules for COVID. And this is also true. So, yeah, we'll take a quick sideline there. Why is it that these people, usually in the highest echelons of power, are, in addition to being, you know, some demonic people, they really are like pretty ugly too? Is it that their soul exudes dog shit from the inside out, and it just, what is that about? Do you have any
part of it? And they're just like, it's that weird power hungry thing too. It just makes them ugly. And I think they just were always ugly, and this is their way to like, because when you're ugly, you have no power in this world. Let's face it, right? So this is like how they're getting power.
You literally have to get into the government so you can seize power.
So you can feel, you can't just like
nobody also listen to you,
right? Right, but these ones, so then they're like extra ugly because they want that power. They're gross.
Wow. All right. There's got to be some truth to that. I feel like, I mean, maybe the uglier you are, like that might lead you into some of these, you know, like, I don't know, mental situations that people are in these days. Like you might not be non-binary all over the spectrum. Maybe you're just ugly. I don't know. Something.
Yeah, that's. I think I forget if it was who had the joke, but they're like, if you're an ugly dude, like don't try to be an ugly girl too. Like everyone says they're non-binary. Right. It's like, no, you're just ugly.
That is the only way that you will get accepted by cis women, though, is to be you know, that's the only way to get into the circle. So maybe it's something to consider. I don't know. If you're like a 1, you know, if you're a 4 or a 5, though, fucking think it over. But so yeah, one more. We're gonna bring it back to the kind of the centerpiece on the war on women. Like your name is Forest Mommy, so that makes me think of like Mother Nature and the sacred feminine energy, right? I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I don't know how you came up with your name. Right. Okay.
Blessed Mother archetype as well.
Right. So yeah, I'm with that, and I feel like there's definitely an attack on that coming from somewhere today. Would you venture to say that that's accurate?
Well, yeah, the patriarchy is winning.
The patriarchy is winning. And there is an assault on the truth and biology. And I thought we could take a look at this and maybe get your guys' opinion.
People with a capacity for pregnancy, would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy.
Already, he's got a lisp, so I feel like there's always something right off the bat, like a trigger, like a something weird. Maybe childhood was difficult for you. Not saying that that's linked to this being a crazy person, but she's pretty wild. Check this chick out.
There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator.
Oh, I hate the smugness so much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're in, I don't know. You don't have to really respect Josh Hawley if you don't want to, though he's one of the people they were calling out January 6th, big time. And so right off the bat, I got to say.
When he kind of caught her there too, that she's like, that's why she had to like smile and brush it off. Cause
right.
Yeah.
I liked his face when he was asking the question too, because he did look just perplexed. Like, how do you even do we have to do this?
She does have crazy eyes too. She's got crazy eyes.
We have to do this. This is crazy that this is actually in, we're debating this in the halls of Congress. It's fucking wild.
Holly.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence.
You have to speak in upspeak if you're on that team. Yep. You have to acknowledge that what you're saying is transphobic.
I hate it. I really do. Maybe I'm old, but no, I think
6 years of college to teach her to say that shit too. You know what I mean? Like they learn those scripts in college.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, she'd do great in human resources.
That's exactly what I was just thinking too. That's where she learned that face that you hate, Dave. You learned that in college too.
All right, here we go.
Denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies.
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get pregnant.
So you are denying that trans people exist?
Oh my God. Wow, look at the face.
Like a teenager. This is like a preteen tactic when you're in an argument. And this is like what's common now, is that attitude.
Wow. If you can a man get pregnant? No. Then you deny that they exist.
Yeah, she rolled her eyes when he said that. Wow. That's rough.
It must be hard. like that's all they think about too in their life. That's all they think about is that language that they're trying to change and keep up and like, smarmy little bitch.
It's wild that's, I don't know, just like, this is the highest levels of government that they're having this. It's not like The View or something where they're talking about women's rights. But speaking of the ladies of The View and women's rights and the original feminist, look at this Hunger Games lady
We
right
have
here.
experienced many decades now of having agency over our body, of being able to determine when and how many children to have. We know what that feels like. We know what that's done for our lives. We're not going back. I don't care what the laws are.
First
Is
of all,
she still
so
having
far,
sex?
with Ted Turner, isn't she married to Ted Turner?
Yeah, I think that does sound right.
They're definitely not fucking. Is her hair purple, pink? Is that pink?
Yeah, it's like a color.
And yeah, she definitely looks like a superhero or a supervillain, depending on whatever flavor you're into. But she was like the original, like lefty 70s, 80s feminist, right? I'm pretty sure.
And for Vietnam, she protested Vietnam stuff, and I forget what she did. What did they call her? Something Jane.
Oh yeah, it was. I can't remember, but yeah, it was something derogatory towards
We're
her.
all not old enough to know these things.
Right, exactly. I'm definitely not going gray. Damn it. So yeah, I don't know. I never had like I definitely leaned more liberal, but I always thought that was cool. If you wanted to use your fame to speak out against the Vietnam War, like that didn't strike me as bad. But this is something else. But wait till you see what she might recommend doing if you don't get your way with the law.
We're not going back.
I think the women will rise up.
That's the activists.
Oh, you know what I love, says the lady on The View? Activists. I just fucking love it. Oh, I hate these broads. I'm sorry, Forrest Mommy. I don't mean to fucking.
Don't worry.
I hate these girls. They're these women. They're so awful. Plus,
They're
this is
awful,
like
and
this
they
whole show
appeal-
is a CIA op.
And they
so I
appeal
can
to
say
all the
that.
suburban white bitches, and that's they get the
Mhm.
attitudes from these, and that's what's going on. Like that's the
Right.
problem.
I've said that this show is bad for women. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay, it has to be. It's bad for everybody, but and I don't mean to speak for women, but I think that
It's
it's
bad
awful.
for the target audience of like women at home when it's on, you know,
Yeah.
like
They're just getting MK Ultra'd all day by these vapid bitches.
That's Jane speaking, and she probably will get a Nobel Prize.
But it's the truth.
Very soon.
It is the truth. We're not going to do it.
Besides
We're gonna
marching and protesting, what else do you suggest?
Well,
it doesn't
I thought of
happen
murder.
overnight.
It's murder, baby. Says Jane Fonda.
It's not a miraculous. What did you say?
Murder.
She's kidding. Wait a second. She's just kidding. Don't say that. That's you don't know. They'll pick up on that and just run with it.
worst.
She's
Yeah, we will pick up on that. I'm just saying. This is on millions of people see this. Millions of women see this, and they think like if your only issue that surrounds freedom is this issue. I don't know. Like how many? It only takes a couple crazy broads to do some fucking wild shit.
But why
I
is
feel
she
like
talking about not having agency? Like, I hate this attitude. Like, you know me, I'm crazy. I'm whatever. I'm for stuff. Like, you have the choice to not get cummed in all the fucking time and get pregnant all the time. Like, it's really easy. I've made it my whole life with never being pregnant because I didn't want to be pregnant. And I was having sex, you know, like, I don't understand this. I know they're trying to scare people and scare these women to vote for stupid shit, but it's like, I hate that. I don't. And then you question that and you're like, even people like me were saying you can still, I don't ever say abstinence only because you just can't. Like, if you believe that's the way, then great, do it. You know, I can never preach that. Obviously it is. It's logically the best choice if you don't want to get pregnant, right? But I
we
hate
should
that.
definitely, I mean, I don't know if a message of personal responsibility would get very far today.
No.
You know, like you're right. Absolutely. Like, hey, you're responsible for yourself. And I've made the argument too. Like, it's like, well, you have a system now that, you know, if a man and a woman, biological man and a woman lay together and you're kind of like you entering a contract, right? You understand that one of the results could be a pregnancy. But what comes with that is like all of the power and control is in the hands of the woman. So like if the guy wants to have that baby, you know, he's 50% of it, but he doesn't have a choice in whether that baby is going to be aborted or if it's going to be born. Like she kind of has, it's all in her court. So, I mean, you should at least go like one way. Like you shouldn't be able to, like he should be able to opt out or you should be able to opt out like of paying child support or something like that.
Right.
That's the way I see it. But I ultimately think, yeah, that would be best if
They just want to make it normalized that abortion is the only option. Abortion is the only option there is. You're just going to get pregnant all the time and abortion is the only option. And it's a really weird message to push. I don't understand. That's
they do want it. It seems like
brain is like they want more baby parts or something, but like
that's what's weird. Yeah, they just relying on totally. You have to be able to kill them, or we'll murder the people that say that we can't. Kill babies. It's like murder all the way around.
Oh,
like does
Hanoi
she even
Jane,
know
by the
what
way.
she's saying? Like, does she even know what she's saying?
No, I
You
don't
know?
think she does. I think that's a problem with that show. It's just more applause and then feeding
And
off that. They say nonsense.
she is 80 years old, I think, or like really close to that.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, but yeah, that whole show is an inside job. But at least she was talking about biological women, I think. So we're going to move on to Ron DeSantis's war on. It's been described as a trans genocide by some people.
Once a trans youth, and now I'm a happy 22-year-old trans adult student at New College of Florida. This is my health care.
Ma'am, okay.
Don't tread on it. Senator
Already using the language, don't tread on me, like, right, with...
How is healthcare putting extra stuff inside of you? That seems like you're doing something else. That's
So
not
the next time a libertarian or somebody else says trans rights are human rights, Some of them are saying they have a right to get that. They have a right to get that. So they have a right to go to Medicare and, get the state to pay for that. And your tax dollars should fund that person's, don't tread on me care.
Yarborough has militarized the Florida GOP into the genital Gestapo. Ron DeSantis wants trans people dead. You are committing genocide.
I grew up in Germany in the aftermath.
Really? You grew up in Germany? I don't know. I know you got gray hair, but
what?
Oh, sorry.
Nazis and what you.
I should have skipped that part. The Nazis.
I mean, we all grew up in the aftermath of Nazis.
I know, it's to some degree, right? I don't
Yeah.
know. You don't have that many wrinkles. You're huge, but you don't have that many wrinkles.
People are doing is no different. This is transphobic.
Why you're not allowed to compare anything to the Holocaust and stuff, or you get canceled. That's why Gina Wilson got canceled.
Good call.
That's a
Good
great
call.
point.
But it's
Yep.
okay for them. It's okay for them. Can
It's
I
a
point out
trans
really
genocide.
quick? These people who are showing up, the left is so organized. They have people showing up to everything. They have all the best characters show up. So everyone starts showing up at your shit. We got to play their game. Will it change anything? I don't know. But like we've been showing up at committee hearings and stuff, and we've been playing their game. We have a disabled gal who plays that part, and like we have our Spanish speakers who play that. Like show up and start.
Are you
playing
guys
their
doing
game.
like bringing theatrics to your city council meetings?
Well, Karen Ann's in our party, so there's always theatrics. No,
That's awesome.
but, the day that we all went, we kind of planned it out. Like we had one guy who he was on Zoom and he was going to speak Spanish, and our other gal, she has one eye and she's technically disabled, so she brought it back, like spoke from that point of view. And yeah, like we'll play. I'm down. That's why I'm running too, because I'm like, I will play these games. Like they are so far ahead of us, and the GOP is way too far behind. So like it's kind of up to us at this point to like do this stuff, to play their games. So everyone starts showing up.
Yeah, they are doing it. So yeah, we have to do that.
And you really should be ashamed.
What you are doing by signing this bill is an act of war. The way it is, as it is now, my people will die. And that blood, if you support this bill, will be on your hands.
I'm 12 years old. I'm non-binary. If you pass this bill, many of us will die.
Just
That's the
reading
worst.
a script. 12 years old. Where's
It's so
your mother?
sad. It's so sad because it's like, I don't know if you watch James Lindsay's stuff on all this. It is like a communism thing where they're making nice young girls who are just normal white girls feel special or feel different, and then they get victimized. Like this is 100% doing of themselves. It's all their own thing. It's so fucked up.
Right. And just to do this to kids, like it's so confusing to be 12, no matter what.
Yeah,
So-
you don't need more. Never mind. I don't want to get too much into it too, but yeah, my 12-year-old told me that they know people in their grade too that are non-binary and all these stuff. I'm like, no, you don't.
Right.
Like,
so
but
sad.
it's every day in school encouraged.
Right. And some of them don't tell, they won't let the parents know if the kid wants to be called that, or, or
Right.
they'll call the cops on the teacher who will let the parents know. I've seen reports of that,
They're
man.
like she's like, can't even, like, it's just self-traumatizing because their lives are too fucking good. This is all self-pain. It's all like cutting. This is the new cutting. I don't know if you guys know, but like, do you remember everyone was cutting for a while for
Remember that?
attention?
Sure. Yeah.
That's like gone away, and now everybody's non-binary and trans. So it's kind of that same attention thing. It's like in the same zone,
right.
but they're hurting them. They are, some of them
It
physically
is.
hurting themselves with chemicals or otherwise. So
That's exactly what it is. But now it's next level, like you said, Dave, too, because now you'll get reported for reporting it, or you can't say it at all. It's like the government school. It's like a little mini Gestapo where everybody's rotting on each other inside.
And I think the ultimate goal of this is literally to make people, like, the affirming of the untruth is they're going to really push that and into the future with AI and stuff. Like, wait till that comes out. Like, you will affirm the AI as a sentient being. You know what I mean? They'll make you do that. But right now they're in the process of just destroying the human experience. And I can't believe, like, it'd be one thing to just fucking go after people, man, but they go after the littlest kids.
It's
Butchers. It's absolutely sick. But before we get here, wait, let's finish this video up real quick. So this poor girl. By the way, some of this is funny. This is not. You know what I mean? This is not funny, and I feel bad for this kid, and I would love to have a stern talking to her parents.
I deserve to live as long as all of you. We are humans too.
When I was 2, I wanted to kill myself. By the time I was 15, I attempted to slice my own breasts off. I went to the ER because I was bleeding out.
Crazy. Why would
This is a crazy person.
you're not making? He's making a point that I'm fucking crazy and I was gonna do crazy shit, and you have to accept it. Like,
and they play like, listen, you can hear this guy, this poor person, and you're going, oh my God, this is awful. Like, I'm so sorry for the torment, the hell you're living in, and at the same time, not want to restructure society around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, both things can be true, but I feel like that perversion of like the empathy, they really play on that, and generationally, we've gotten to this point. It's just awful.
and it's in law now too. So like, say this guy in Colorado when he was younger, went to a therapist and said, I have gender issues. And if the therapist said, maybe it's not gender issues, maybe it's something else, that therapist can lose their license. You can't even like suggest it's not that out here by law for licensing. It's just, it's so nefarious. Ugh.
Yeah. Demonic. I'm not even a Christian, but I borrow that word because I don't have a better one.
I'm not either, but like pedophilia and this shit, it's like demons. This is real demon stuff. And Fauci, it's real demon stuff.
Yeah. See, you're a real one. That's why I knew it.
And you can't even ask any follow-up questions, or else you're a transphobe. Like when you said I wanted to kill myself when I was 2, just stop there.
Right.
Wait
a second.
Hold on. When you were 2. So from the moment you could walk.
Who told you that, sir?
Yeah, right.
Who told you that?
You don't remember. You don't remember that. Right.
Oh my God. Good point. I would have let that one go. I didn't even. Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
I'd also like to implore you all to remember that less than a week ago, gun law restrictions were loosened. And anyone who thinks it's a good idea to come and take my child, I dare you.
Ooh.
The government is the only person who's been saying they're going to take kids or do anything. So what the hell is she talking about? Like,
yeah, I don't know. Now, listen, this is a really, really tough one for me. Like, we're libertarians, so we've spent time thinking about what you're willing to put someone in a cage for, right? So, like, I don't know. Like, I would say that having a teenager that wears a dress to school is not, if he chooses to, is not child abuse. Like, it might be fucked up. You might have some shit going on. That's not child abuse. You take your kid to the butcher shop to get butchered as a 12-year-old, 14, 15-year-old. Ooh, I don't know. Like, I don't know if, I think like you have to protect kids the same way that we've talked about this before, but like Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, right? Like he had a 14-year-old girlfriend and her parents signed off on it. It's like, no problem. It's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if the kid and the pedophile and the parents were cool with it. It's still not okay. It can't, you know what I mean? That doesn't like.
Have you seen that show with the transgender jazz where they've been normalizing it for like the last, I don't know how long the show's been on, but she's had bottom surgery and I think she's like 17, or it was a he turning into a she. And the mom, I shared a clip. The mom was just like openly talking about how she has to dilate the wound, because it's a fake vagina. And it's like the mother is sitting there with these other white women just talking about it. Like, this is normal. I'm like, what? Right. This is it's disgusting. Like,
they don't tell you that.
You butchered your this child would have never done this without you. You would have, it's all you're doing at this point. Like, it's so gross. And that was just to normalize all this crap. Yeah. It's just,
that hell and that torment is going to go from that kid and spread to their parents someday from that thing when they realize.
Yeah, and I actually hope that, like, I would love to see, like, there's a lot of detransitioners who are like, they're very base and they're very cool, because it's like they understand they were kind of abused and groomed, basically. So
yeah,
I hope they all turn on their parents.
Yeah, whatever you have to do to be free, yes, and just wait it out, please.
Every time that I look at you guys in this committee, I realize more and more that you guys want to commit trans genocide and that our blood is on your hands.
I am the parent of a transgender child who...
Oh, you are? Of course. I'm Dan.
Why do versions of you?
Right. Those glasses come standard issued with you people. Jesus. Oh, with nice fade, lady. Oh, disgusting. Sorry.
I was almost 8 years old, and we're at the beginning of our journey. And what you're...
She said 8?
Yeah.
We're at the beginning
We are.
Oh, see, this is
These white women.
I'll tell you what, so oppressed. So oppressed. The most privileged group of people ever to
She probably
walk
has a
the face of the
vlog
earth.
about it. She has a vlog about her child's transition, I'm sure, too.
8 years old. It's just criminal. I mean, again, like I might, if you were like, Dave, you could throw this lady in a cage and that wouldn't happen to her 8-year-old. I would be like, well, I think I would probably consider that.
In a minute, because you know she was just waiting until 8 too. Just waiting for the time.
Right. Oh, like the vegan cat owner. You know, there's no such thing as a vegan cat, but the vegan cat lady will just give that thing carrots till it dies. Here we go.
We're doing is taking away life-saving potential opportunity for me and my family.
Every 45 seconds, a trans person makes an attempt on their life, meaning that one happened every 2 speakers that you saw.
Okay, Demon, I fucking recognized you and I cast you out. I cast you out of this podcast.
This very moment. 10 years ago, that was me, and 1 year ago, that was one of my siblings. And tomorrow, it will be the children of people in.
So basically, me and my siblings have been suicidal our whole lives, and if you do any of this shit, we're gonna be even more suicidal.
But it doesn't have anything to do with the ideology of being trans or anything. You know, it's like it's everyone else not accepting them. That's why they're suicidal.
Oh, I can't even. I think that was the last guy. I can't do anymore. But before we go any further, we're going to pay some bills. So let's hear from our sponsor, the Boston Children's Hospital.
Penile inversion vaginoplasty is the full name of vaginoplasty. In this procedure, the surgical team is creating the outer and the inner vagina. The reason it's called penile inversion vaginoplasty because we use the penile skin and the scrotal skin in order to reconstruct the vagina. By doing so, we break it down to all of its components, and we use some of the tissue to reconstruct things the way they were supposed to be for that patient.
Happy International Women's Month!
And that was like a real ad they had for Boston's hospital.
That's a real fucking ad from Boston.
And everyone's going around saying that's not going on, and they have, they have an ad
Commercial
for it.
Yeah, and it's awesome. Dave, they did it again with that music because the only way you could explain that type of abomination is by putting the little Twinkie.
Yep, they certainly sold it. This psychopath talking about how they're gonna fucking, just like you said, massacre your child's private parts, make a vagina. I don't know what to do. I feel like this is an emergency, and so many people don't get it. There's so many emergencies over the past couple of years, guys, and people just don't see it like I do. They're concerned about other shit.
Part of this problem is these white women, which I'm sorry I'm going hard on the white women, but I'm allowed to because
no, you have to. Sure, it's got to be. You.
So I used to go to the gay club all the time. I made friends with older trans people, whatever, cross-dressers, all these people. We got along. We had a good time. It's like these white women want a trans friend, so they make their child into a trans friend. Like it's just like there's all those moms who always try to make their kids their friends. It's just like this next level of I want this trendy trans kid friend. You know, it's like go out and make adult trans friends. Like stop doing it to your kids. It's just and not all trans people are the ideology of it. Like one of my best friends is a cross-dresser, not trans, and he votes Trump. Like he loves Trump. You know, like there's. If we just stop, but it's all nefarious and on purpose, obviously, for what the transhuman stuff and normalizing it.
Well, look, and we don't, not like we have to specify here, but liberals would say, oh, like stop the war on drag queens. Like, I don't care. No one ever cared about drag queens. People care about drag queen story hour. People care about a half naked transsexual person twerking to a room with children.
They're not doing that. Oh, there's like 80,000 videos.
I've seen the videos. I've seen at least 10 of those videos. So that's enough to go, who the fuck are these parents taking their kids?
And that's where we have to hit the culture. That's like what I'm going to try and do too. It's like, stop trying to ban it, whatever, talk down about the ones doing the sick shit. And then we need to ostracize these parents. These parents need to be socially ostracized for this shit. But instead they're in Facebook groups going, oh, I took my kid to that. And all the women are like, oh, they all love it. And it's like, we need to start ostracizing that behavior. it is a culture thing, and you can ostracize that behavior without saying it's all drag queens or the adult drag shows and stuff. That's what I feel like we have to be doing.
Right.
Just making fun of these people, make fun of them, like make them feel really fucking stupid and gross for doing it.
That's what I think we should move from phase 1 of like complaining about this stuff to phase 2, which should be like publicly shaming people that do it. Because I don't like, the worst thing you could do to somebody is call Child Protective Services on their house. That's the worst thing. But again, if I had a magic button on the side of the desk that said, Dave, you could save this 8-year-old right now by pushing the button to lock that parent, of course I'm going to fucking do it. So like, I want to avoid that. And like you said, I want to like kind of push the culture back a bit whilst letting everyone know that if you're an adult, you can do whatever you want. Chop off your leg, glue on a wooden one. Be a pirate for the rest of your life. No one gives a fuck. Leave the kids alone. That's where I would be. But unfortunately, some of these adults, I think, might be military grade influencers working on behalf of the regime to recruit kids.
Louise, I am 6. I'm a city child. I live at the Plaza Hotel, which is huge and wonderful and très elegant, especially at Christmas time.
So there's ruining that story for me. Like, that just ruined that whole story now.
What Disney story was that?
Well, it's a book called Eloise, and it is like this cute little girl who lives in the big Plaza Hotel, and there are stories of her adventures and like, living in this big hotel. It's just a cute little girl story. But
it was stolen.
It must have been made into a movie, I assume, and that's what he got.
Your culture is Dylan's costume. Sorry about your luck.
I know. How is that not appropriating shit? Like,
well, look,
especially
this guy, he's like the effigy that they're holding up. Like Dan, we played the video of him sitting with Biden talking about trans rights. He just went on Drew Barrymore's show, and like the optics of it, I saw. You saw it. So Drew is they're having like this girl talk, and like all of the trauma that we went through as girls, and like Drew gets on her knees. She's like on her knees, like next to it. Just had this like very much like to CD's tweet, like this.
That was it. That was the woman.
Yes, it's so bizarre. And if Dylan wanted to just be a woman, transition to a woman, and go be a woman, fine. But he said multiple times, "Oh, this is day 182 of girlhood." I think Dylan just passed 365 of girlhood, and now like it's just reached a point where it's like that's not just a dude living his best life as a girl.
That 10 seconds, like you said, Forrest Mommy, that's a crazy person.
Absolutely.
Like,
but a weaponized crazy person. Like who's the target audience?
He's on TikTok. Got big on TikTok first, right?
Yes,
like,
but you're an adult woman, right? So is that what any woman like? It's a weird, it's a weird caricature.
He's just being like, he reminds me of my cross-dresser friends who just want to dress as women occasionally, and it's a sexual thing for some of them, and it's like a game, and they like, it's like almost drag, like where it's not quite drag, but it's on the way to drag. That's all he was, but now it's gone so far, and it's talking to the president, and it's like this whole thing getting all this airtime. The worst people are getting all this airtime, which is like...
It is weird, but I think, look, Dylan has very soft features. Like I think he's been selected. Like he obviously wanted to be famous. I just saw he was on The Price is Right. The Price is Right a couple years ago. And so he was Dylan on his name tag, but he was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, had a dude's haircut.
He's a very feminine gay.
But super, he had he was jumping around like a chick, doing totally hamming it up. So my point is just that like, look, Dylan could be going through whatever. Maybe he's kind of embellishing or acting. He's obviously got like performance blood. You know what I mean? Like he wants to be kind of famous. I think he would do whatever, like most influencers, right? I'll say whatever it takes. I'll say whatever it takes for 1 million followers, 1 million clicks, which again, Forrest Mommy, that's what I'm saying. Once you get those numbers up, it's cool that you're like keeping it real and, instead of just whatever, using that for the powers of evil, which I think
I
Fucking
mean, it's
Dylan,
evil, but it's like good evil, right?
no man, listen,
We're
you
right
just
because we're all correct and right in what we're doing. So
yeah, and like Dan Smots has said, like we're going to use propaganda. We all have to build up. You should build up
righteous
your name.
propaganda, righteous
Right.
propaganda.
If anybody gives you shit about running for office, oh, she's just doing this for her Twitter or whatever. Because I've seen that from Angela gets that, Mike High, all these people will get that too. But let the record state, who gives a fuck? Anyone that's willing to step up and do that work, like you deserve all the follows, all the clicks, all of it. Build your brand while you do it.
And
You
if
know
you
what I
don't
mean?
like me, no one's making you stay.
Right.
Bye, voluntary association. Like
That's it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for tonight. But I wanted to have you on, talk about some current events, talk about you. That's very exciting news. You're a Meekhawk, so if you need anything from me, please holler. But yeah, like tell everybody where they should go to support you and watch your show and everything else.
Probably easiest is just my ad is Forest Mommy on Twitter. And there's a link tree there with everything. I'm Forest Mommy everywhere, so you should be able to find it on everything.
Yeah. And the
I haven't
Golden
been on
Showers
YouTube
podcast.
as much. I've been doing Rumble more. So
okay, just give me a minute on Rumble why creators should go there instead. Like, you can stream to there and do everything the same? Can you get yourself super chats and stuff like that?
yeah, they can donate money there, and you make more. They don't take as big of a cut as YouTube.
Nice.
You can stream there. You can live stream until you can do it free once you have 100 viewers, or you can pay $5 a month to live stream. But once you get 100 viewers, it's free, or subscribers. And the analytics are crazy. Like I said, I don't pay attention to that stuff. Paul does with Sibling Reverie. Everyone go follow them too. He had a show on Saturday, and when CD was on their show, they got over 1,000 views. Like, just the numbers are crazy, and they're it's not perfect, but like he said, it would be cool if YouTube became like MySpace, and we all there's just better shit coming along, right? So, and Rumble really does seem to be trying, and they're getting there. So, my numbers are way higher there than YouTube ever was. So,
really?
Yeah.
But you have way more followers on YouTube, right?
Yeah, I have like 2,000 on YouTube. So Rumble just really does a good job of like getting it out there or something. And they have all these new features, and you can tag stuff there and all that too. So I don't know, it's worth trying. It's at least worth getting your stuff over there as well. You could upload old stuff for now and start building it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. We got a
it's definitely not the problem with it right now is Rumble. The chats don't come up on StreamYard. They don't have that hooked up yet. So you kind of have to have it open, another thing open, and it's a little not as user friendly. I don't use the app. The app might not be terrible, but it's not as user friendly as YouTube, and I think. But like I said, they're getting there. They're working on it. There's more and more viewers, or more and more people on there every day with people switching. So, and you can literally say the N-word, hard R, and you're good.
I was kind of even reluctant to do a soft A today with CD's tweet. I'm like, I hit up Dan Smots. Yo, my I think you can. Don't hold me account if your channel gets banned there. But yeah, again, quoting CD and not me. But really appreciated the chat. Thank you for being here.
Thanks.
Anytime. Young Jeezy. Bro, good chat tonight, bro.
It was real. Yeah.
She's a good one. She's doing all the stuff, working hard.
She's doing all the stuff. There was a lot of checks.
Podcasting.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
City council showing up, giving those motherfuckers hell. Running for local office, city council. I just think that that's the best. So yeah, go support Forest Mommy and like her channels, like our stuff. And yeah, we'll see you soon, bro. Anything else?
No, I think we're good. See you next week, maybe.
Crushed it, man. I would love to do that, bro. Thanks for the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, that's episode 45. Appreciate you being here. Sorry we're gone for a couple weeks, but yeah, family first. And that's how we do it. See you next time. All right. Peace.